The uncle of a teenage shooting victim called the teenager on the run for killing him cold-hearted.
And he says the suspect's father on trial for his role in the murder. Police say his son committed, has no remorse. Testimony began today for the trial of this man, Richard Acosta, charged with murder because prosecutors say he helped his son, Abel Acosta here, commit the crime inside of Garland, Texaco the day after Christmas 2021. 4 teenagers were shot, 3 of them murdered. Abel Acosta is still on the run, and today the jury and victims' loved ones saw exactly what happened inside that Texaco. Fox 4's David Santendry has been following testimony all day, and David's live tonight in Dallas. David.
Yes, Steve and Heather, it's been an emotional first day of testimony for the family members of those 3 teenage murder victims. Today, for the first time, they saw surveillance footage from inside the convenience store of those boys being ambushed and gunned down. Surveillance footage shows Ivan Noyela on the left and his friend Rafael Garcia wearing the dark hoodie inside the Garland convenience store on December 26, 2021, where minutes later they were murdered. Detectives believe they were involved in a prior gun-related incident with their accused killer. Sitting down waiting for tacos is Xavier Gonzalez, who investigators believe did not know the other 2 boys. Then Richard Acosta, the father of the accused killer who is still a fugitive, walks into the store. He makes a purchase and gets back in his white Dodge truck and drives to the back of the parking lot. Less than 3 minutes later, the truck drives back toward the front of the store. Abel Acosta is who investigators believe gets out. He creeps toward the front door and opens fire.
It takes 9 seconds for him to fire 20 rounds, shooting and killing those 3 kids and injuring another. All the while, this defendant has his foot on the brake, the truck in drive, waiting. Actions speak louder than words.
Prosecutors believe Richard Acosta knew his then 14-year-old son was planning the shooting. Evidence shows the brake lights of Richard Acosta's truck were on while waiting. A sign, prosecutors believe, shows the father was ready to drive off.
Before the door is even shut, this defendant's taken off.
Richard Acosta's attorney claims his client had no idea his son was going to shoot the other kids.
He's going to tell you, I never saw him with a gun.
The attorney claims his client sped away because he was unsure where shots were coming from.
So yes, he hauls out of there because he doesn't know whether they're shooting at Abel. He doesn't know what's going on. All he knows is he's heard shots fired and he's trying to get out of there, and he goes directly home.
Surveillance footage, never seen by the public until now, shows the gunman run inside for a brief moment. Fox 4 is choosing to freeze the graphic video here as Gonzalez is shot in the back at close range. The 14-year-old victim, who detectives maintain was an innocent bystander, was trying to hide as best as he could underneath a chair. What was your reaction to the surveillance footage that you saw today?
Horrible. Horrible is something that only somebody that doesn't have a heart, it's a cold-hearted killer, would do. Because one thing is shoot somebody from far away. Another thing is see him hiding, sneak behind him, and shoot him in the back.
Gonzalez's uncle, Rafael Gonzalez, who testified about his nephew's character, tells Fox 4 some family members could not stomach what they saw on video evidence.
They were coming out of the courtroom crying because they couldn't watch it.
The 2 other murder victims, after being shot, ran to separate corners of the store and died. Ivan Noyela's uncle was crying while on the stand. He says Noyela and Garcia were both living with him, and he drove them to the store to get tacos. Speaking via translator, he says he was in the back of the parking lot in his vehicle during the shooting. He says he heard the gunfire and saw the gunman running out of the store.
But it took off right away when the guy got into the truck.
The trial is scheduled to resume tomorrow. Richard Acosta is supposed to be taking the stand to testify at some point this week, according to his attorney. And again, Richard Acosta's son, Abel Acosta, the accused gunman, is still on the run.